I want to talk about the geometry of the piano keyboard as it relates to pianoply as well as to other apps such as GarageBand, Synthesia, and various digital audio workstations. Now, this is a top view of the piano with the familiar clusters of 2 and 3 black keys. You've certainly noticed that white keys are wider at the front than they are at the back. This is, of course, because the octave is divided into 7 in the front, while it's divided into 12 at the back. You may have also noticed that black keys don't bisect the 2 adjacent white keys. They're offset, and that allows the widths at the back to be approximately equal. One black key does bisect the 2 adjacent white keys. That's the one at the center of the cluster of 3. Developers of piano roll apps would probably prefer the keyboard looked something like this. It would make things a lot simpler, but it doesn't look like that, and that's not how piano players think of the keyboard. They think of white keys as all touching each other and being wider at the front than the back, and an app should deal with that correctly. An interesting and amusing aside is that people who draw piano keyboards, especially clip art, drawings like this, they always get it wrong. Sometimes bizarrely so, but almost always in terms of black keys bisecting the 2 adjacent white keys, which admittedly some physical keyboards actually do, but they don't tend to be piano-like keyboards. They're unusual ones. Apps also tend to get it wrong this way, but more significant is apps that do this crime, which is trying to think of the white keys and the black keys as just being equivalent geometrically, even though they're not. And that's not how piano keyboard players think of them, and for good reason they don't. Here you see pianoply on the left, GarageBand in the upper right, and Synthesia in the lower right. They're all playing the same song, they're synchronized, and Synthesia is turned on its side and mirrors so it aligns with GarageBand above it. But take a look at how the 3 of these look. Now these 3 notes are the same note. It's a B natural. And if you notice in GarageBand, this one is not the width of the white key that it aligns to. It's also at quite a distance from the image of the white key, but it's not centered on it, and it's a different width. Meanwhile, in Synthesia, it is the correct width of the white key, but it's the white key at the opposite end of the actual action line, the line where you actually play the note. So that's not optimal either. Pianoply, of course, is the correct width, and it doesn't have that problem with the action line. I think we've talked about that in a different video. While this video is mostly designed to show the thought process that has gone into pianoply, I also want to say that I think that in the future, I will be exploring, or hoping that others are inspired to explore, how horizontally oriented piano rolls, like in GarageBand, Cubase, FL Studio, etc., could be significantly improved by adapting their geometry and also the use of colors as pianoply does. It seems like it'll be a natural fit. It's not an easy problem, but I would certainly like to work on it.